Have you ever put on a jacket and thought, wow, did this thing just add 10 years to my look in 10 seconds flat? You're not imagining it. After 50, certain jackets like cropped bombers, oversized denim, or that dramatic trench can quietly age you instead of flattering you. But here's the good news. Fashion after 50 isn't about giving things up. It's about upgrading wisely. In this video, I'll show you 7 jacket styles to avoid after 50 and the 7 chic, age-smart alternatives that will instantly make you look fresher, taller, and more polished. Stay with me until the end because I'll also share my simple formula for choosing jackets that actually fit your body shape. So the next time you step outside, you'll know exactly what to reach for. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to Radiant Over 60, where every week we prove that style, beauty, and confidence don't retire at 50. Now let's begin with the first culprit that might be quietly aging your look, the cropped puffy bomber.
Have you ever slipped on a jacket you once loved, only to look in the mirror and wonder, why do I suddenly look shorter and boxier than I really am? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. For many women over 50, the bomber jacket that once felt effortlessly cool has turned into a quiet style saboteur. Here's the truth. The problem isn't you, it's the cut. Cropped bombers that stop at the waist visually shorten your torso and make the midsection appear wider. Add in all that puffiness, quilting, or a tight elastic band at the hem, and suddenly your shape is trapped in a square. Instead of creating ease and flow, the jacket builds bulk right where you don't want it. So what's the better option? A modern, bomber-inspired piece with a little more length and softness. Look for styles that hit at the hip, with relaxed hems instead of tight cinching. Fabrics like twill or soft faux suede glide more gracefully over your shape. And when it comes to color, skip the shiny black or navy from years past. Try taupe, olive, charcoal, or camel. These tones instantly elevate your look and mix beautifully with jeans, a flowy midi skirt, or crisp white pants in summer. Let me share a story. Linda, age 58, walked into my studio wearing a quilted bomber she'd owned for over a decade. She told me, "No matter what I wear, I just feel bulky in this." We swapped it for a hip-length version in soft charcoal with no harsh elastic at the waist. The transformation was instant. Her frame looked taller, her waistline reappeared, and her posture shifted with confidence. When she got home, her husband smiled and said, "You look like you just grew 2 inches and turned back the clock 10 years. Nothing about Linda had changed, only the jacket. So let me ask you, do you have a cropped puffy bomber tucked away in your closet? When you wear it, does it make you feel polished and confident, or does it box you in? I'd love to know. Drop a comment and tell me if you're ready to try a modern bomber that flatters your shape instead of hiding it. And speaking of jackets we hold on to a little too long, let's move to the next classic piece that can quietly work against your elegance, the oversized denim jacket. Have you ever put on a denim jacket hoping for that easy, casual vibe, only to catch a reflection and think, why do I look like I'm drowning in fabric? Oversized denim has been a big trend for younger women, but for those of us over 50, it can be one of the quickest ways to lose our shape. The issue isn't denim itself. Denim is timeless. The issue is the sheer volume. Jackets with dropped shoulders, wide sleeves, and boxy bodies don't skim the body, they swallow it. Instead of effortless style, the look often comes across as heavy, shapeless, and even a bit careless. And if you pair an oversized jacket with wide leg pants or a loose dress, the effect doubles. Suddenly, it's all fabric,
and no figure. So what's the alternative? A denim jacket with structure and subtle shaping. Look for a style that lands at or just below the hip with seams that follow the natural line of your body. Princess seams or a slight taper at the waist can make a world of difference. Sleeves that fit neatly, not baggy, allow you to roll them up casually, creating a modern, relaxed look without overwhelming your frame. And when it comes to wash, mid to dark tones tend to look polished and pair well with almost everything. Let me tell you about Maria, age 62. She loved her oversized denim jacket. It felt cozy and youthful, but every time she wore it, she felt like her shoulders sloped and her frame disappeared. We tried a fitted denim jacket in a rich mid-wash with just a hint of stretch. The difference was striking. Her waist looked defined, her posture improved, and she immediately looked taller and sharper. Her friends even asked if she lost weight. The truth? It was simply the jacket doing her justice instead of fighting against her. Now think about your own closet. Do you still reach for that oversized denim jacket because it feels comfortable, even if you're not thrilled with how it looks in photos? What would it feel like to try on a style that highlights your curves instead of concealing them? Sometimes the smallest adjustment in cut or length can transform how you carry yourself. I'd love to hear from you. Are you ready to swap your oversized denim for something a little more structured? Drop a comment below and let me know if this is a change you'd be willing to make. And since we're talking about jackets that once made us feel cool, but now work against us, let's move on to another classic, the black leather biker jacket. It's iconic, yes, but after 50, it needs a thoughtful update. Be honest, do you still have that black moto jacket tucked away in your closet? The one with the chunky zippers and shiny hardware? And when you put it on today, do you feel chic and confident? Or do you sometimes feel like the jacket is wearing you instead of the other way around? Here's the thing. The classic black biker jacket is iconic. It represents rebellion, confidence, and edge. But after 50, its harsh lines, stiff leather, and heavy detailing can start to overpower rather than flatter. The shiny black finish draws attention away from your face. The bulky hardware creates visual clutter, and the cropped, boxy cut can highlight the midsection in ways you probably don't love. Instead of looking effortless, it can come across as rigid or even dated. So, how do you keep the spirit of leather without letting it overwhelm you? The answer lies in softer, modern interpretations. Look for jackets in buttery suede or supple leather that drape instead of fight your shape. Switch up the color. Deep cacao, warm burgundy, rich navy, or even a soft camel can instantly soften your look and brighten your complexion. Minimal hardware and clean lines let you shine through, while a slightly longer length helps elongate your silhouette. Let me share Karen's story. At 65, she adored her biker jacket. It had been her go-to since her 40s. But she confessed that lately, every time she wore it, she felt hard-edged and even a little invisible. We tried swapping it for a suede camel jacket with subtle tailoring and no heavy hardware. The change was breathtaking. Her friend said she looked sophisticated, radiant, even Parisian chic. Karen told me, I didn't realize how much that black jacket was holding me back until I saw the difference. So let me ask you, do you own a leather jacket that feels more like armor than style? How do you feel when you wear it? Powerful or weighed down? And what color would you love to try if you gave yourself permission to step away from harsh black? Would it be a deep wine red, a soft taupe, or maybe a navy that flatters your eyes? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share in the comments which leather look feels most you today and whether you're ready to retire that old biker jacket for something softer and more sophisticated. And speaking of classics that sometimes backfire, let's talk about another piece that has long been a symbol of elegance, the trench coat. It's timeless in theory, but the wrong length or cut can quietly overwhelm your frame. Do you own a trench coat that sweeps all the way down to your ankles? And when you wear it, do you feel sophisticated? Or do you sometimes feel like the coat is wearing you instead of the other way around? The trench coat has long been celebrated as the ultimate symbol of elegance. But the modern versions, extra long, oversized, and dramatic, can quietly overwhelm a mature frame. When a trench drags close to the floor, it visually shortens your legs, swallows your proportions, and adds bulk where you don't want it. For petite women especially, the effect can be dramatic. Instead of looking tall and streamlined, the coat makes you appear weighed down and even smaller than you are. Another issue, fabric overload. All that extra material billows when you walk, creating volume that adds years rather than subtracts them. Even tall women can struggle here. The shapeless sweep of fabric takes away from the crisp, polished effect a trench is meant to provide. And let's be honest, colors matter. Muddy beige or dull khaki can wash out your complexion and make you look tired. The trench coat should light you up, not drain you. So, what's the solution? Choose a trench that flatters, not one that engulfs. Look for a length that hits just above or just below the knee. Long enough to feel chic, but short enough to elongate your legs. Go for lighter, high-quality fabrics that drape gracefully without extra weight. A slim belt at the waist defines your shape without fuss. And when it comes to color, think stone, navy, or soft olive. These tones brighten your skin and pair effortlessly with everything from jeans to dresses. Let me tell you about Janet, age 60, who was petite at 5'1". She came to me with a trench that brushed her ankles, convinced it made her look taller. But in photos, she looked almost buried in fabric. We switched it for a knee-length trench and a soft stone color with a narrow belt. The transformation was immediate. Her legs looked longer, her frame more defined, and her friends even asked if she had grown taller. Janet laughed and said, "It feels like I added 5 centimeters without heels." So, here's my question for you. When you wear your trench, does it make you feel lifted and elegant, or do you feel hidden beneath it? If you could try a shorter, sleeker version, what color would you choose? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, especially from my petite ladies out there. Have you struggled with finding a trench that flatters your frame? And since we're already talking about structure and shape, let's move on to another jacket that can easily go wrong, the Boxy blazer with oversized shoulder pads. It once screamed power, but after 50, it can quietly work against your natural elegance. Be honest, when was the last time you slipped on that old black blazer with the oversized shoulder pads? Did it make you feel polished and powerful, or did it leave you feeling stiff, square, and maybe even a little outdated? For decades, the blazer has been a symbol of authority. But the truth is, those boxy cuts with heavy padding were designed for another era. Instead of highlighting your natural shape, they broaden the shoulders, shorten the torso, and give you that corporate armor look that feels more boardroom than modern elegance. And let's not forget the fabric. Stiff, unyielding materials that bunch around the arms and chest only make things worse. Here's the good news. Blazers can still be your best friend after 50 if you choose the right one. Look for styles with gentle shaping at the waist.
A single button closure elongates the torso and creates a beautiful vertical line. Lightweight fabrics with a touch of stretch move with you, keeping comfort and sophistication in balance. And when it comes to shoulder pads, think subtle. Just enough to lift, not enough to overpower. Color is another game changer. While black can feel harsh, lighter neutrals like ivory, blush, or dove gray instantly brighten your complexion. Even soft seasonal shades, powder blue, warm camel, muted sage, add freshness and keep your look modern. Take Susan, age 55, for example. She came to me wearing a black boxy blazer she'd had since her corporate days. It made her feel flat and rigid. We replaced it with an ivory blazer, gently tapered at the waist, with a single button and minimal padding. The difference was stunning. Her face looked brighter, her posture softer, yet confident. And she said, "I feel like myself again, just 10 years fresher." So let me ask you, do you still have a blazer in your closet that feels more like a uniform than a style statement? How do you feel when you wear it? Empowered or weighed down? And if you could try a lighter, more modern shade, which color would you choose to lift your skin tone? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me, are you ready to trade in the boxy blazer for something that celebrates your shape and brings light to your face? And speaking of jackets that can slip from practical to problematic, let's move on to one more common piece, the Sporty Windbreaker. It's meant for comfort, but if you're not careful, it can easily cross the line from casual chic to frumpy. Let me ask you this. When you throw on your windbreaker for a walk or a quick errand, does it make you feel sleek and put together? Or do you sometimes feel like it adds bulk and hides your shape? For many women over 50, the windbreaker is practical, yes, but style-wise, it can be tricky. Here's why. So many sporty jackets are cut boxy and oversized, with elastic hems that puff out around the midsection. Add in big front pockets, bold logos, or shiny fabrics, and suddenly your outerwear is drawing all the attention to your stomach and hips instead of your face. What's meant to feel athletic often ends up looking sloppy or dated. But it doesn't have to be that way. The right windbreaker can give you comfort and confidence. Look for a semi-fitted cut with subtle seams that define the waist. Choose lightweight, matte fabrics instead of glossy synthetics. They read more refined and timeless. And stick to neutral tones like navy, olive, charcoal, or soft taupe. These shades are versatile, easy to mix with your wardrobe, and far more flattering than neon or metallic finishes. Minimal logos and clean zippers also go a long way toward keeping the look polished. Helen, age 63, is a great example. She loved her morning walks, but admitted she always felt a little puffed up in her old bright blue windbreaker with an elastic hem. We swapped it for a matte olive jacket with gentle shaping through the waist and no oversized logos. The difference was immediate. She still felt sporty and comfortable, but now she also looked chic, like someone who had intentionally styled her walk, not just thrown something on. Her friends even asked where she'd found it. So let me ask you, what does your go-to windbreaker say about you right now? Does it make you feel confident when you run into a neighbor or a friend at the cafe? Or does it make you want to keep your head down and hurry home? If you could upgrade to a jacket that feels just as comfortable but looks twice as chic, would you give it a try? I'd love to hear in the comments, are you ready to retire your old boxy windbreaker for something more streamlined and elegant? And finally, let's talk about one last outerwear mistake I see far too often, the oversized faux fur jacket. It promises glamour, but for women over 50, it can add bulk and overwhelm your natural beauty. Let's take a closer look. Tell me honestly, when you slip into your big faux fur coat, do you feel glamorous? Or do you sometimes feel like the coat is wearing you instead of the other way around? Many women over 50 reach for faux fur because it promises warmth and a touch of luxury. But when the fur is too thick, too long, or too fluffy, it can completely swallow your frame. The issue is volume. Heavy, oversized faux fur coats add bulk in all the wrong places. Instead of looking chic, they can make even the tallest woman appear broader and shorter. For petites, the effect is even harsher. It's almost as if the body disappears under a mountain of fluff. And while bold colors or dramatic animal prints might look fun on a runway, in real life, they often come across as costume-like, masking your natural elegance. So, what's the smarter choice? Look for hip-length faux fur or shearling jackets with a slim, tailored cut. Choose shorter, smoother textures instead of shaggy, oversized fibers. Subtle colors, soft blush, muted gray, creamy beige, or a gentle cocoa will flatter your skin and bring light to your face. A little texture goes a long way, so keep details minimal. No giant collars, no flashy trims, just clean lines that enhance your shape. Anne, age 67, had been wearing a long, oversized faux fur coat for years. She said it felt cozy, but every time she saw herself in photos, she noticed her figure looked lost. We swapped her coat for a blush shearling jacket that ended right at the hip. The transformation was immediate. Her friends told her she looked lighter, more elegant, even Parisian chic. Anne smiled and said, "I didn't realize how heavy that old coat made me look until I put this one on." So let me ask you, what does your faux fur say about you right now? Does it highlight your best features or does it hide them? And if you could try a sleeker, softer version, which color would you choose? A gentle blush, a muted gray, or a warm cocoa? I'd love to hear in the comments, are you ready to swap the bulky faux fur for something that feels luxurious without overwhelming you? Now that we've walked through all 7 jacket styles that can quietly age your look, it's time to take a step back and see the bigger picture. How small, thoughtful updates in outerwear can completely transform the way you carry yourself every day. Let's wrap it all together. So there you have it. 7 jacket styles worth retiring. And 7 smarter choices that will highlight your beauty and confidence. Being over 50 doesn't mean holding on to clothes that weigh you down. It means curating with care. So every piece you wear lifts you up and makes you feel radiant. Remember, turning 50 plus isn't the end of style. It's the moment you refine it. One thoughtful change at a time, you'll notice your reflection feels more like the woman you know you are inside. Strong, elegant, and vibrant. And honestly, life's too short for jackets that age you and for lukewarm coffee. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's the one jacket in your closet you're reconsidering after watching this? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it, because your story might inspire another woman. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe to Radiant Over 60. Hit the like button and share this video with a friend who deserves to feel just as confident. Thank you for being here with me. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, stay radiant, stay confident, and keep celebrating yourself.